battling it out for $6,000 and bragging rights, as you rightly said. Harvey Harrison joins me. Who are you backing here? Now, just remember the Emu Plains boys are sitting or standing right in front of us.
They'll be very happy to hear I'm back in Emu Plains to get the job done. So it's going to be a close contest. We're set for a grandstand finish. I can feel it, and maybe could be set for a field goal. Who knows? But
love a field goal
to play for. Half an hour away from bragging rights and the $6,000.
As we talk about potential bragging rights, Windsor have started absolutely terribly. The pass wasn't great, but Tory Willie, you'd expect him to take that. Maher gives it to Roma in the unfamiliar 22 jersey. Emu Plains a fantastic chance to strike early. The defending Open Men's Premiers, Thompson with the ball. They go to the left-hand side. Windsor's defence was fantastic in the semi-final. So was Emu Plains. Both sides completed shutouts, not conceding a point. They get it back into the middle of the ground now. And then back on the angle was that tackle almost around the neck. The referee says no. The numbers are stacked to the right for Emu Plains. Thompson's the first receiver. Josiah Palu with the ball. Beautiful ball work. And Nick Hancock in the corner. Fantastic put down. Great ball movement to the right-hand side. Mistake early from Windsor. And Emu Plains score the first try.
Yeah, he's been doing it all day, Nick Hancock. Potentially up there for player of the tournament, I think. He's just been all involved for this Emu Plains side, and at the moment he is the reason they have the lead in this grand final. What a start for Emu Plains. Couldn't have started much quicker than that. Just over a minute gone, I reckon, over on the right hand side. A tough kick, a very tough kick, just about as far out as you can be converting them from, but the captain, the man in the number 6, he'll be backing himself to convert this one. But nevertheless, what a start for Emu Plains.
What a disaster for the Wolves.
I know. Well, it comes off the back of that. You know, you say usually they're taking those and losing the ball on your own 20, and the good teams, you have to be a good team. Remember, 12 teams started, 2 teams are left. You have to be a good team to get to this stage, and that's exactly what Emu Plains are.
Isaac Thompson, he was one of the leading point scorers in last year's Panthers Juniors Open Men's Competition. He hits the ball very nicely from touch, but I believe it's just short. Yeah. So no goal. That might prove very critical in determining the outcome of this game. But whatever the case, Emu Plains off to a flyer. 4 points to nil, courtesy of a try to their winger, Nick Hancock.
They sure are. I'm not sure if emus can fly, but they certainly are early in this grand final. It's been a phenomenal start from that man again, Nick Hancock. And they'll look to
You're proud of yourself about that mention, aren't you?
Absolutely I am. You got to get in mentions like that whenever you can, once in a while. So I've got to be doing something in the commentary box, so why not come up with stuff like that?
Emu Plains continuing the play now, attempting to complete their set after points. They scored with their first touch of the ball.
They did.
Maher's the dummy half. Over to the left-hand side. Roma with it. More often than not, the captain. He was last year of the Emu Plains premiership winning side. Thompson back into the middle of the ground. About 35 away from the line. Thompson, an early kick. No, he decides against it. He baited me and fooled me. He didn't fool the Windsor defence. That's why I'm calling and not playing. Palu with it. He faked a kick as well. They go down the touchline. Hancock kicks it back into the ground. Or the centre of the ground, rather. It goes over Bird's head, and he saved the day. Wow, that could have been a disaster again for for Windsor, rather, but they've retrieved the ball. Campbell Bird, the bounce of the ball going his way in the end.
And I think they're the two players in that tackle that you've got to be watching. It's Campbell Bird and Nick Hancock for their two respective sides. Windsor awarded the penalty, looking for the quick tap, not to be. And they will go for it now.
And they go straight through the line. There's no one at home. Now there is. It's Bentley. They get the pass away. And it's Attard who's wrapped up inside the Emu Plains half of the field. Bird across field. And they're wrapped up about 28 metres away. Windsor trying to level the scores. They trail 4 points to 0. The ball goes back to Attard. Now to Willie. Over to Lindsay. Across field. Chance here for Windsor. Hancock came flying in. They go down the touchline. And have they got there? No. Touchy's got his flag in the air. Hedges went down the touchline. But they've saved the day. Emu Plains. Try-saving defence. Desperate defence on their own line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we heard the Emu Plains boys meeting just before the game, and they said, one more game and we can celebrate. So that's exactly what they're doing. Just give it your all for half an hour. You've worked so hard for 2 hours of footy today. Don't give it up in the last half an hour. That's exactly what we've seen. Scramble defence, and that is why they have the lead in this grand final and make the appearance in the first place.
Went the other way. Maher shaped to go right, then he ended up going left. Emu Plains have just got strike everywhere in this side. Big front row in the middle, running at Eaton Lindsay. Now they go to Roma. Just, you know what you're going to get from him every week. Thompson, the first receiver on that right side. Kick downfield, straight down the throat of Campbell Bird, who is always strong off the kick return, but it's a solid bit of contact, as you rightly mentioned, Harvey. Windsor starting their set about 38 metres away from their own line, and a chance to really push into the Emu Plains half of the field.
It sure is, and they showed what they can do on that breakaway run that nearly led to the try to level it up. So Windsor, they're just staying in the fight here. That's exactly how they got through the Mounties, you know, just playing good, solid defensive footy, and that's what they've done. Only the one try conceded, and they'll back themselves.
Tory Willie's cut through the line. He's got support on his right. He gets the ball away, and Windsor are going to score the try. I believe they've got there. Yes, indeed. That's a fantastic effort. Tory Willie setting it up with the line break, and Windsor levelling the scores. It's 4-4. We've got a fantastic game ahead of us, Harvey.
We sure do, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Windsor Wolves able to turn the switch just like that. It's 4-4, as you rightfully mentioned, and the momentum, the lack of momentum, continues throughout today. It's been very back and forth in the grand final. That's the way we want it. We want a grandstand finish as always, but particularly for the grand final of such a good competition. The inaugural competition, I'm sure it'll be back. It has been a huge success today here at Pepper Tree, and a great grand final deserving of wrapping the competition up looks to be in store.
And as you were mentioning before about our sponsor, we couldn't have done this without our main sponsor, Revolution's Gym. They're our naming rights partner for this competition, for the day. It's been a terrific occasion. Great to see so many familiar faces and also some unfamiliar faces from teams outside of the local area. For example, Mounties and the Narellan side. And we couldn't have done it without them. They're our naming rights partner. Without them, we're not here.
Yeah, for sure. Massive thank you, as Michael just mentioned. I mean, they've put on such a good day of footy. It's been phenomenal here. We've been fortunate enough to commentate it, and loads of people have been fortunate enough to experience it. So whether it be the players, the fans, the staff, whoever makes it possible, we want to thank the sponsors as always. Great grand final in store, and I'm very, very hopeful that we'll be back for this again next year.
If we're invited back,
well, that's right.
I'll be here.
We've still got to do the job.
You'll be here. Lockie will be here. But that's if we're invited back.
That's exactly right.
Have to wait and see. Whatever the case, we have to focus on the task at hand. And it's 4-4. That conversion attempt was unsuccessful by Ben Attard. Windsor starting off with the ball from the kickoff. And look at that for a first bit of contact. These two sides played twice last year. Windsor got the victory in the first clash, 28 points to 8 over at Heber Park. That was a fantastic display. Their winger, Viliami Fonokalafi, scoring a hat-trick as they shift the ball to the left-hand side. Bit of space opening up for the Wolves. They go down the touchline. Palu tries to get him with a jersey grab. He can't get him. Hancock does. And now he's been tackled. Great stuff from the Wolves, chancing their arm in their own half of the field. The ball goes now into the centre. And Maher tries to make the tackle, but the ball goes over to Willie. And he's wrapped up about, 25 away from the line. Fake and run from the dummy half. He gets the ball over the top on the bounce to Bird. Quick hands they go out to Siddis. He got away from one. He's still going Siddis. And now he's been hit very hard in the end. They're wanting 6 more, but he's lost the ball. The Windsor player in the play the ball. They were wanting a penalty. Not only did they not get that, they've also coughed up the ball.
Yeah, they sure have, and not a bad position to give it away, but all things considered, the runs that they were making, the sheer meters that they were putting up in that set to turn it over without points, or at least a repeat set, is disappointing. But for all, such an open game, as we've seen in a lot of the games today. The half-an-hour format does mean games are tight. And that's exactly what we're seeing once again in this grand final.
Another run in the middle of the ground now. The Emu Plains middlemen have been fantastic to start this clash, as have been the Windsor boys. Look at that for a bit of defence in the middle of the field. Maher across to Roma, who almost gets through. Quick play the ball, though. That's what you want to see if you're an Emu Plains fan. Thompson away. Long ball out wide. But Windsor wrapped that up very well. Emu Plains inside the Wolves half the field, though. And now it'll be Thompson. Floating kick down the ground. They let the ball bounce, and it bounces favourably for Campbell Bird on the burst. Now, surely that was high. Referee definitely agrees.
Yeah, for sure. Just caught him across the face there, so that'll be a penalty to Windsor. Campbell Bird's dealt with that very well, as he looks to be in a bit of pain. I believe it's just a cramp. He ran into that with full speed. Campbell Bird's, the referee calls time off. So hopefully he's all right, because he's a crucial player to this Windsor side. It does look like cramp, and he's not the only player. There's another Windsor Wolf down, hobbling. The trainers helping him up. Just feeling around that calf sort of area, and he'll be helped off the field.
That's a big loss. That's a huge loss for Windsor. Campbell Bird off the field.
Wow. So 2 in, well, not the one play, but 2 in the one set. So they'll have to revisit their options, Windsor, in this contest. Tua Malatai was the other player who's come off the field. So yeah, they'll have to come up with another option for winning this grand final. But I mean, they're sprinkled with talent throughout that whole team, 1 to 13 and even beyond. So they'll back themselves to still do it, but huge losses for them in this game, if they are on the sideline for the rest of it.
Look at Siddis go through the line, just break a tackle like it was nothing. Past the Emu Plains 30. Opportunity for Windsor to take the lead. And a penalty goes to the Wolves. Could be sin bin if we're not careful. Siddis with a quick tap and run. About 20 away from the line. The numbers are stacked to the left-hand side. That's where they do go. Tory Willie. Now it's been pinched by Emu Plains, so just as you think they've got a chance, Windsor, the Emus, they just find a way to retrieve the ball.
They do, and I think defence is going to be crucial to winning this game. I really only see probably one try left in it, to be honest. A minute left in the first half, so if some team can pull out a bit of magic, maybe if they get close enough, are we talking a one-pointer?
100%. Maybe not in the next minute, but definitely in the second half. Otherwise, we might be going to Golden Point, Harvey, which I would definitely not be opposed for.
How good would that be? Golden Point grand final in pre-season, but there's a lot of footy to get through before that point.
Maher giving it away to his fullback. Right on the halfway line. That's 5 and last for Emu Plains. The dummy half will kick. Down the ground, Ben Attard's playing fullback. He retrieves the ball in his own in-goal area. And he's wrapped up on his own 10 metres. So Windsor are quite fortunate they've got that much talent that they've got Ben Attard to fill in.
It's not a bad replacement, is it?
It's not.
In a fullback.
But they'll be hoping Campbell Bird can get back onto the field. Bit of push and shove there. Not long to go in this first half. Tory Willie across field. He got the pass away. Just going set for set at the moment. 4-all the score. Tory Willie, chip kick over the top, chasing his own kick. Beware the second kick. They all miss it. Now it's been kicked again by one of the big Windsor forwards. Hancock's going back to retrieve it. Now, will he think of doing something? Of course he will. Hancock up to the 20, and he succumbs, does he? Not after a couple of ragdoll efforts at the end of it. But that ends the first half of the pre-season competition grand final here at Pepper Tree Stadium. It's 4-all. 1 try each. I mean, we are set up for a fantastic second half, Harvey. We'll take a short break, let these boys get some water and some rest, and we'll be back for the second half of the inaugural pre-season competition. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the inaugural pre-season competition grand final. We're locked at a stalemate at the moment. It's 4-all between Windsor and Emu Plains. Mini Rabs alongside you, and with me is Harvey Harrison. What are you thinking, Harvey? Who wins this game? Why? And how? A field goal, a try, are we going to Golden Point? I want to hear it all.
We're going to go Emu Plains, 8-4, and it's going to be the number 7 Pahulu who goes over for the winner. So
all right.
I can just feel it.
All right. You heard it here first. Emu Plains will start with the ball in this second half. They had a dream start to the first half of this one with the error from Tory Willie leading to the try for Nick Hancock. And they're already past their own 40 on the third play of this first set. Palu, dummy, and went himself. He's not the biggest number 7 you'll see, but he's very strong. Now Roma. He got the ball away. Brilliant. Now they go to the left-hand side. Strong run, but even stronger defense, I'll tell you that. Maher to Thompson. A high kick down the ground, and it goes over the Windsor winger's head and dead in goal. So I'd say it's a pretty bad start to the second half for Emu, playing 7 tackles for their opponents.
It's certainly not ideal, and I think the man on that Windsor edge is very grateful it didn't end up going directly to him, or he might have had a tough task at hand. But strong defence once again from Emu Plains, both these sides. I mean, you could argue they're the two most defensively sound teams in this competition, hence they're in the grand final. So another strong tackle there. It's going to be 1 or 2 tries in it. I'm saying 1. It's not going to be much to decide between these two teams.
You love a close grand final, and that's what seems to be happening. What is happening at the moment, we'll have to see if it eventuates the whole way through. 2 minutes gone in this second half. Tory Willie with the ball, flicking it out to Attard, and he looked one way, he went himself. Attard still going, getting to the fullback. He had no support, or he couldn't find his inside man. Opportunity here for Windsor. Tory Willie going himself. over to Sidis, and he's wrapped up. On the last play, I think he's got cramp.
I think plagued a few players in this grand final.
It has. They go back into the centre. Tory Willie, crossfield kick, brilliant, and it's been taken. They flick it out the back. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to hand for Windsor. It was the Cooper Cronk style cross kick, finding the outside men, and they flicked it inside, and it didn't come to hand. So Emu Plains survive.
And I think Emu Plains were playing on a 20-metre shorter field because there was no one out on that left-hand side when he caught it. He was just in acres. It's only the pass didn't find him.
And now they go down the touchline, Emu Plains. They come back into the centre. They're still going. Look at this. There's no one at home for Windsor. He pins the ears back, and Bird with a try-saving effort, who's back on the field now. Emu Plains, you got to go to the right. They go to the left instead. And what's happened here?
He's lost the ball.
Is it a forward pass or a lost ball? Whatever the case, referees called it back, and Campbell Bird has some dramas. Campbell Bird was... Look at him. He's struggling to walk at the moment.
Is it that same injury that he copped in the first half, you reckon?
Potentially, as we see Sidis down Windsor's half of the field. He's going off the field as well. They're dropping like flies at the moment, Harvey, in the biggest game of the day.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you're after, but I mean... You put any player through 2 hours of rugby league, 2 hours in this heat as well, and I'm not all that surprised that the injuries are starting to mount. Hopefully it's just a bit of fatigue and, you know, the body's overworking, and hopefully it's any injuries that'll impact their season. But yeah, I really do just think it's down to 2 hours of playing what really is one of the most brutal sports on the planet.
Windsor working it away from their own end now. The score remains 4-4. It could have easily been 8-4 moments ago. Windsor hooker working it up to the 40. And the kick will come. No, it won't from Attard. It goes to Willie. Now they don't have much room here. And they call it forward. They call it forward.
Look, it's tough. Given the circumstances, they've had, what, 3 key players to their team go off the field, Windsor. Campbell Bird, just you can see he's making his way over to the Windsor bench on the far left corner of the field.
That would be so frustrating for him because he's been one of their best today.
He sure has. And I'm sure he will be this season. He was one of the best at Glenmore Park, and he's a huge signing. Probably
one of the biggest of the comp.
Definitely one of the biggest of the comp.
Roma playing the ball. Thompson to his halves partner, Palu. Over to Bentley. It's knocked down by Windsor. They say play on. And 6 more tackles is ordered. Kelly could have gotten over in that corner, but it was battered down by the Windsor defence. They needed to do it. Fantastic chance for Emu Plains to regain the lead. Malonato in the centre of the field. Zamet is the dummy half. It goes over to Thompson. He gives it off. Can they score the try? No, they ran out of room. Windsor's defence holding firm. There's 4 of them. They got the pass away, though. Thompson away. Emu Plains desperately trying to get there. Smith with the ball now. Tackled a metre away from the line. What are they thinking, the Emus? Zamet over to Thompson. In to one of his big men. That's the last play. Windsor's defence holding firm. Let's see for how much longer. Zamet across to Thompson, who's the first receiver. Palu, chance here. And
what a tackle.
Fantastic defence on that edge of the field. Hedges in there for Windsor, and it remains 4-4. Harvey, we're getting into field goal territory soon.
We sure are. We're getting into sort of the last 8 or so minutes of this grand final. And I tell you what, in normal games, it's 10 minutes. You get into a position, you go for it. I don't know if the same applies because that is a third of the whole game. But I think definitely in the next set or two, both teams should be considering it.
Lindsay now. Windsor, they haven't gone anywhere in this set of 6. They really need to push the pass here and hope it sticks. Tori Willie, just brilliant defence from the Emu Plains, the defending Open Men's Don Feltus Cup premiers. Now they go to the right-hand side and they've cut through a gap. That's what you want for Windsor. Support on the inside. He decides not to throw the pass. He got away from Hancock. It's been intercepted by Emu Plains. What a save that was. Unbelievable. In a grand final, it was Jack Babbage that took it like a thief in the night. And now Smith, he got away from a couple. He's in the centre of the field. He's tackled 38 metres away from the Windsor line. Ben Attard's down in back play. Another Windsor player potentially injured with cramp. This has been such a physical game. As they go to the right-hand side, Palu gets through, gets the ball away. Emu Plains desperately trying to take or regain the lead. They've got all the numbers to the left. That's where they surely have to go. They go back to Hancock. Hancock trying to push through. That's the last play. Last tackle here for Emu Plains. They go to the left. They just dive over. It's too easy under the post to foul scores for Emu Plains. They regain the lead. It's 8-4. And does that win them the premiership?
I think it does. I'm counting 7 Windsor players down, either on a knee or lying on their back. I just think they're exhausted from today. Pahulu is also down for Emu Plains, and it is a brutal grand final. 150 minutes some of these boys will have played of footy today, and that is tough on even the most supreme athletes. So I think it's just starting to get away from Windsor. They've had some of their marquee players injured. A good try, just fell over the line. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of movement around the ruck, and just planting the ball down under the post. Should throw this one over the captain, Isaac Thompson. But 8 points to 4. Probably about to be 10 points to 4. Surely, given all the adversity Windsor have faced, it's going to be tough to come back.
So 10-4 with about 5 to go. All that pressure finally telling. Look at the Windsor boys. They are on their haunches. And let me tell you, they need, if Emu Plains are to win this game, they need to really give a lot of credit to Jack Babbage, the thief in the night, with that intercept. It looks like Tori Willie will be going short on this kickoff here. With 4 minutes to go, he does in fact go short. It will go the 10, and it's lost by Emu Plains. So another spanner into the works as Windsor go straight through, still going.
Thompson's down as well.
Another injury.
Unreal.
To the left-hand side. Big run in the middle. I think it's Satia. Thompson's down in back play. Emu Plains without their captain and their 5/8. Windsor looking to strike and perhaps level the scores. Big man in the centre of the ground now. He can't get there. They will go to the right. No, they go from dummy half. And have they got it over the line? No, they've been pushed backwards. The ball goes back to Attard. Long pass over to Sidis. He got away from the would-be tackler, but he came again, and he's dangerously close to that sideline. This is incredible football to watch on a Saturday afternoon. In the middle of the ground now. Windsor, this is the 5th and last play. They go to the left. Chance here. On the angle is Tori Willie. He scored a similar try like this when they played last time. And now Sitters for the line. He'll get there for Windsor. What a game. What a finish we have in store. It's 10 points to 8. A kick to come to level the scores with about 2 to go.
Here we go. Windsor have set up exactly what we were all hoping for. A huge conversion. I mean, I hope the hamstrings, the calves, the whatever don't go on this kick because so many players going down. It's just been brutal out there. I mean, top quality footy for over 2 hours. These players are machines and it's finally starting to get to them and we might not be done. If this goes over, we could be headed for Golden Point potentially in the grand final. So
it's what this competition deserves.
Oh, for sure. What a day it's been. And I mean, can we argue that this has been the best game of the day?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a done deal, no doubt, in my mind, and I'm sure all the spectators watching this, maybe not for fans and coaching staff and officials from the respective teams, because they are probably extremely nervous. But Tory Willie, he won the Player of the Year in the Don Feltis Division 1 Cup last year. We were talking about how good his goal kicking is. Let's see if he can set us up for a potential Golden Point shootout. 10-8 the score. Willie's kick, it's going to hook too much. It's going to hook too much.
How long have we got?
About a minute, maybe just over. Not long left. Emu Plains are almost there. We could have been 10-all, but the wind playing its role as referee calls time off.
The chairs are gone, Michael. We're all standing up on our feet for the last minute of this grand final. 10 points to 8. What a finish we have in store for us.
It'll be Hancock to get us back underway. Emu Plains lead by 2 points. Windsor have to go 100 metres. And have they mucked up the kickoff? They have. Oh, my goodness.
It's a dropout, though. So, or is it?
Emu Plains, that'll just about do it. And Nick Hancock deciding the game, not with his own put-downs.
It's a dropout, so they've got the chance at a short dropout to keep themselves alive.
Tory Willie's got to get this right. He tries to go short. It's going straight down Emu Plains' throat. They fall straight to the ground. About 30 seconds or so left in this one. My apologies. The siren sounds right now. And Emu Plains, they've done it again. They won the Open men's competition last year in similar circumstances by 2 points. They've done the exact same thing in the pre-season competition. 10 points to 8 winners over Windsor. What a day it's been at Peppertree Stadium.
Oh, it's been a phenomenal day of footy right from game one to this grand final. I mean, I don't know if we're counting it, but does that complete the Emu Plains three-peat? They've won their last 3 competitions in a row. So, but all seriousness, congratulations to Emu Plains, deserved winners of what has been a fantastic inaugural edition of the pre-season cup. Big thank you to our sponsors as always, and huge game of footy. 2 points the difference. Massive performance from both sides as we saw players fatiguing, cramping, all sorts towards the end, and rightfully so because it has been a brutal day of footy.
What a win, what a day, and what conditions. It's been very tough out there. You saw how many injuries were occurring in those latter games. We were cramping in the commentary box. Lachlan Fabiano was almost done in that semi-final. He was helping us from behind the scenes, and he played his role, taking part in, I'd say, 3 or 4 broadcasts today. Thanks so much for your company. Michael Ponticello alongside Harvey Harrison. Lockie's done his part. We've done ours. The players have done theirs. And it ends quite normally and appropriately with an Emu Plains win. They claim the inaugural preseason cup, 10 points to 8 over the Windsor Wolves. Thanks so much for your company.